Hello, welcome back to the Saturday afternoon stream. Today is Saturday, November 23rd. My name is Angela, coming to you from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm a front-end developer, and I have something really fun planned for this afternoon. Well, it'll be fun for me. Not every front-end developer uh, likes to spend a not every front end developer wants to spend time on the design side of front end development. Oh, yay, hello. Nano Kia is here. Hello, good to see you. Let's go over here. Um, thank you for joining. I'm always, as I say over and over again, I'm always so surprised and delighted when people come hang out with me. Um, I know not every front end developer really wants to spend time on the design side of front end development, and I think that that is completely fair. I do like to spend a little bit of time on this side of things, especially because I do still do some freelancing. I do still get asked at work to help out with design aspects. It isn't even that my boss asks me to help out with that. It's an expectation in my particular job that I have an eye for design, and I am applying that without constantly needing to get our creative team or to get a designer involved in something. My boss appreciates that, and I appreciate being appreciated. So I also have to say that we've spent so many weeks now doing so much coding. It's really nice to just have like one day to step away from writing code. I really appreciate that. My frustration level with, well, I'm frustrated with myself a little bit, and I'm also frustrated with ChatGPT and my reliance on ChatGPT. I mean, the last couple of weeks have really taught me that it's absolutely okay to ask for help and to get help, but that I need to step it up. I need to step up my game when it comes to JavaScript. So that is my number one priority for this next year, 2025, is to step up my game with vanilla JavaScript. So, um, so that's that. So yeah, this is my very long-winded way of saying that I'm excited to just do something a little bit different. So I also want to show you how I get inspiration for things, because here's the thing. I'm not somebody who just like designs and ideas and creativity doesn't just materialize for me. I need to seek out inspiration, and I have found that Pinterest is a spectacular source of inspiration. Oh, Lena. Hello. Lena, hello from Mallorca. Wow. Well, thank you for joining us. Happy to have you here. Um, I I want to show you how I start to get a little bit of web style guide, a little bit of inspiration. I mean, Pinterest is just a phenomenal source. Let's bump this up a little bit and you can get a sense. I mean, some of these style guides are just, look at how detailed these are. I mean, in the best possible way, right? And I think, when you think about an organization that has a really well-defined brand, a lot of that has to do with the fact that their designers and their creative team sat down and made some really important design decisions about how the brand is implemented. And that's everything from the color palette, the space around the logo, the typography, the different typography sizes. Um, this is how you establish a brand, in my opinion. And as a developer going into an organization with a well-defined brand, that makes design so much easy, right? Because then when I'm in a position where I'm coding things and I'm being asked to have an eye for design in order to in order to implement the branding and not need to spend a bunch of time like on all of these design elements ahead of time, right? Because it's a small team and we're moving quickly and we're, there's some urgency to get things done. Having a well-defined brand just makes all the difference because you've made so many decisions for me. And I just appreciate that as a developer. So, Airbnb has a catalog for its style guide. It is so big. Let's look at it. Airbnb style guide. Breathing. Let's see here. Look at, they have a lot of style guides. Airbnb. Let's just go with the top results. So this is their JavaScript style guide. I mean, and this is important too, right? If you must reassign references, use let instead of var. Why? Let is block scoped rather than function scoped like var. Note that both let and const are block scoped, whereas var is function scoped. See, look at this. Use the literal syntax for object creation. Yeah, I think I knew about this. I think I did know about this. I mean, I think this is really cool. And here's the thing: as developers, it's really important to have a portfolio, a web page, something that represents the work that we can do and that we're trying to sell ourselves to other organizations. Like, hey, I can do this for you. Also, look at my portfolio. I don't know how you sit down and just build a website if you don't have something mapped out for yourself. So that's the other point of this, is to show if you're a new developer, a new designer, and you need to make your own portfolio website, like do some of these exercises where you're creating style guides and where you can get a little inspiration. So I'm not seeing what I had in mind, but that's okay, because we're gonna, let's see here, web style guide design. Do I have it in my own? Let me check my boards, because I've got here, UI, UX. I don't have that much, do I? Let's see here. Maybe branding style guide. It's gonna be what this is what I wanted to do. Something kind of like this. Something kind of like this. So this does lean more towards branding, but this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to switch to a different, there we go. I'm trying to do something that leans a little more. I'm putting the style in style guide. So I want to choose some colors. I want to establish right out of the gate that they're going to be accessible. I want to, I have an idea for a logo, which is not going to be, it's going to be very typography, font type logo. I want to play a little bit with some UI elements. I want to decide what my buttons are going to look like. I want to decide like what are my images going to look like. So this is the type of thing that I'm going to create today. So I'll just save this in UI UX. And now it's suggesting more things here. So, and then we'll also go ahead and define like what does our H1, H2, and H3 look like, and what does our typography look like. See, look how fun these are. These are so fun. And Lena is saying, I often ask ChatGPT when I'm not sure which colors or fonts to use. Totally fair. Let me show you And milk coffee looked good. I'm going to save this one. Go back. Yeah, this one looks really good too. I do like these colors. I'm a sucker for yellow. I'm a sucker for yellow. And I love pink. I'm just going to say it. I love pink. I love just about every shade of pink. I just love color, period. I just love color. Yeah. So I'll save this. We'll keep a couple of these up. Let me duplicate this tab. Of course, branding style guide. I'm going to keep this one up. See, I kind of like this one right here. Let's see if I can click off to this. See, I just love these colors. Okay, let me show you a great way to do colors, which is, it used to just be color.adobe.com. I don't know if you have to be signed in to do this. Sure. Now I think it's Cooler, Kuler, I think. Create color themes, extract themes and gradients, create accessible themes. Here we go. So let's grab an image. Pictures. I mean, I was going through my own personal like stock of images. See, I love color. I love color. Let's just see what we can get from this. And you know, not all of these colors are going to be accessible. That's not the point. The point is to have, you know, accent colors. You can choose one or two colors as backgrounds and make sure they're accessible with your type color, things like that. So Lena, if you're having trouble choosing colors, I would suggest that you find a photo that you like and drop it into something like Adobe Color, where you can pick a color palette from a photo. And then over here on the left, they've got some different options. So we could go bright, muted. I really like this. Deep, I like that. Dark, I like that too. Oof. So many choices. Deep, muted, bright, colorful. Oof, it's going to be quite the portfolio. Yeah, I thought it was still cooler.adobe.color. Yeah, I feel like I've been using, I haven't used this recently, clearly, but anytime I needed to choose a color palette, this is what I would do is, so let's go ahead and save this. I'll show you. I have a lot of color palettes in here. Let's see if I can. I don't know where to go. Color. It's there. Okay, great. I know there's like a page that shows all, oh, here, up here, libraries. Okay. There, look at, these are all of the color palettes that I have saved over the years. These are all of the color palettes that I have saved over the years. And these are things that I either came in and like hand picked the colors. A lot of these came from images. I think this is the one I just did. Oof, look at this. Ooh, I like these too. I think, you know what I think? I think this came from, because I've had these photos for a really long time. I think this color palette came from this. I mean, it even says green polygon. So, uh, and this would be kind of a cool image if I needed a background image for something. I could definitely use this. Okay, I'm going to use this. I just have to make a decision. So I'm going to use this. And over here on the right, it says copy as SAS. I am going to go ahead and copy this as SAS. Let's see here. I'm just going to pop this open. And we'll just save it as plain text for now. So I'm going to copy as SAS and then come over here. And now we have all of these colors saved. And we'll need these tomorrow because whatever we build today, we are going to make a web page out of the style guide that we make today. I also need an image. I just need one image. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this live. I don't think there's anything too crazy in here, but let me make sure. Oof, okay. Here's the image that I'm going to use. This is my dog Heidi. So that's from the dog park a couple of years ago. So that's the image I'm going to use. And we have our hex codes here. So we know what hex codes to choose. And now we just sort of need kind of like a layout. So let's start with a logo. And my logo is going to be font. So I have an account on FontSpring. Here, one second while I get logged in. I normally use Google Fonts. I think Google Fonts are amazing, but I have purchased fonts over the years. Can we go look at this? Go to. So this is a font that I really like. I'm not going to use the scripty font all over this site. I'm literally just going to use it to use my initials AJH as a logo. That's it. And then the other font that I would like to use is maybe for, do I want to load? I think I will use a Google font. I will use a Google font for everything else. Fonts.google.com. Let's go home. Didn't they used to have a sidebar here? Here, filters. There we go. Okay. So I want, I kind of do want a serif. Let's see here. Let me make this a little bigger. There we go. I kind of like this crimson. I think this is a possibility. Yeah, I do like this. I don't need this. This was from, I think this was from the product list with cart that we just did. So let's go back. I like this too. I mean, it's a very formal font. I've moved to HSL entirely as it is so much easier to lighten and darken a color. Yeah, I'm discovering that as well. So this is pretty formal. I almost always choose sans serif fonts. I just want to do something a little bit different. Um, so, and I'm not gonna spend I'm not gonna I don't want to sit here and like obsess over this decision either. I want to move quickly. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this Coromant. Yeah. So let's download this because we will need this in our local. Let's see here. We will need this on our computer in order to do this. Let's see here. Coromant. All right. Fonts installed, image selected, color palette selected. Let's get started. And we just have to remember which one is which. Okay. I'm going to close a couple of these. Hello Sweets is the name of the font that I'm going to use to make my logo, which is really just my initials. Here's our color palette. Let's go back to, here's our font that we're going to use. All right, check, check, check. Remember a few years back, like 6 or 7, when everyone was using lobster font? Oh yes, I do remember that. In fact, that is a font that I still see being used, and I know somebody else who used lobster font. I thought it was pretty cool. I remember I remember when I learned about Google Fonts. I learned about Google Fonts the same day I learned about the Firefox developer tools. I had been building websites for, I don't know, maybe a year or so, and I was deep into WordPress world, where in WordPress land you can it's they have this parent child theme structure where it makes it really easy to customize a website without rewriting a bunch of code. You can use a child theme, override the parent theme templates. And I was struggling with the CSS and the fonts and things like that. And I had met a developer named Ed from Romania. I know that is random. He was a really great guy though. He's the one who taught me about Google Fonts. He taught me about the developer tools where I could like actually look in the console and see what was going on. He taught me about Sass. He showed me where to go to learn Sass and why I should be using it. I mean, he was I should get in I haven't talked to him probably in 10 years. He was such a generous person. I would send him random emails in the afternoon, and he would stay up all night with me talking on Google Hangouts and showing me how to do things. He was such a nice guy. And yeah, I definitely remember using Lobster. I don't know. That was a whole tangent. But yes, I just remember those early days of Google Fonts and discovering all these really cool fonts and experimenting and playing and how fun that was. Monique is here. She says hello. And Lena is saying, I love Firefox dev tools. Yeah, I've never been like a really big Firefox user, but I am learning to enjoy Firefox. I have a colleague who avoids Google at all costs and uses Firefox, and it's not a bad decision. Definitely not a bad decision. So, I just remember those early days though, like finding out about Google Fonts and Firefox Dev Tools like all in one afternoon. I thought my brain was going to explode. So, and Lena is saying, "Hello, Monique Robinson. I love our little group. I just love you guys so much. If I haven't said yet today, I appreciate you. Well, here you go. I appreciate you. Okay, Coromant is our font. We have our colors. Um, this is what we're going to do for our logo, and we have kind of a rough guide here of what we want this to look like. So the top will be our logo. I don't really have alternative logos, so we'll do logo, color palette, um, profile picture. Yeah, we could do like an alternate profile picture. Oh, we should also make sure that we have the contrast checker in case we need to adjust everything. So let's actually do the contrast checker first. So let's go blue. Let's check blue and white. So here would be our background. And then this would be our foreground. Let's see here. All right, this passes. Good. So we are accessible with our dark blue. Let's check this teal. And so this passes with large text, and it passes if we have graphical objects and user interface components. So if you had like an input. So I'm going to say that this is a no for white. Oh yeah, it's definitely a no for black. I mean, large text, yes. We should probably avoid this for text. Let's check out this green. Yep, and this passes, so we can use this blue and this green as background colors, and then I'm just going to go ahead and say that this lighter green and this yellowish are not going to be okay as background elements, but I think let's see here. So yeah, that fails. Yeah, and that definitely fails. So, okay, at least we have two colors that we can use as background. So this navy blue and this kind of foresty dark green. And checking out the comments. And all right. Let's see here. Oh, clear. There we go. Okay, so in Affinity Photo, which is very similar to Photoshop, I'm going to choose this 1440 by 900. And let's see here. Can I show the rulers? I want to show rulers. And are these pixels? Let's see here. Yep, it's pixels. Okay. It says up in the corner pixels. And hopefully you can you drag guides? Let's see if we have to show guides. Show guides. How do you show guides? How do you drag guides? Okay. Guides. You should be able to, Can't you just drag guides? Okay, come on. Affinity Photo drag guides. Drag guides. How to drag guides in Affinity Photo. First, you have to have rulers on. Yes. Next, you can drag from the ruler's divisions from up to down or from left to right for vertical guides. Okay, I thought that's what we did. Ooh, no. Hang on, maybe we need to be here. There we go. There we go. Okay, we just needed some guides. Good. And Monique is saying, thanks for mentioning the contrast checker. That contrast can make a huge difference on the background night and day. Canva just bought, oh, really? Ooh, okay. Hang on. Canva bought, oof. Canva buys Affinity. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, looks like they did it earlier this year. Ah. All right. Well, I mean, listen, I don't have any opinion on Canva. I've never personally even used Canva. We have a contract with Canva at St. Thomas, the university where I work, and a lot of people use it and love it. All I know is that I really wanted to end my relationship with Adobe because I think that they've had some shady terms of service stuff going on with how they're using people's work to change to like train their AI. They got into a little bit of trouble. And I just think that they're so outrageously expensive. Have you ever tried to like change your billing with them? Or if you sign up for a monthly subscription, you're really locked into a year. So if you try to cancel, they'll bill you for it's just, I just really wanted to, and Lena's saying she loves Canva. She finds it really useful. I just wanted to end my relationship with Adobe. So, and I've been using Photoshop for, I mean, 10 years. I think I've used Photoshop. I think it's an awesome tool. So, okay, so we have 1440. Where's my calculator? So I'm going to put in guides for 1200 pixels wide. So 1440 minus 1200 is 240, so 120 on either side. Let's see here. So there's 120 there. And then, hang on. That would be 1320 on this end. Right there. And then I'm just going to do 100 on the top and bottom. Maybe I'll do 50. Yeah, I'll do 50. So I'm going to put 50 there. I'm going to put, hang on, how long is this? 900, so 850 right there. And then we'll go ahead and start with our logo, which is going to be Hello Sweets. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Oh, okay. There we go. And I want this to be a hex slider right here. I'm going to do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, which is my favorite color of gray. Oh. There we go. Oof. That does not look, hang on. And there we go. All right, and that, it does not look good, does it? Oh, why does she look so pixelated? And Lena is saying that Adobe is so buggy. Did you say that Affinity was a one-time purchase? I'm trying to remember. Yes, it is a one-time purchase. So their structure is that new versions, you do have to repurchase the license, but for the existing version, you purchase one license and all remaining updates are free of charge. They are on version 2 right now, which I think they released in 2022. Yes, and it's infinitely less expensive than Adobe. They also have a 6-month free trial, and their suite of products is basically a Photoshop competitor, Illustrator competitor, and InDesign competitor. So, and it's after taxes, it's like $180, something like that. Yeah, it's a really, so far I really love it. So, okay, and this is super. Hang on here. This needs to be like some smoothing here. I've been using this quite a bit and I hadn't really run into any like issues. Look at how bad that looks. Let's see if there's some Affinity font smoothing. Affinity Photo font smoothing. Text anti-aliasing method. Let's see how the text looks. Let's see how the text looks. Is that why it doesn't look very good? Just because I'm zoomed in? Also, I don't need spell check. Emilio, yes, we are doing a little bit of designing today. So we are creating a style guide and where we define our color palette. And then tomorrow we're going to be, yeah, it's rasterizing the text on Zoom. I feel like I don't run into this problem in Photoshop. Like Photoshop kind of takes care of this for me. Maybe. I'm wondering. Hang on, I'm going to switch to this is a little bit better. I'll use my desktop or my laptop screen. Okay. Well, I'm just going to leave this. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to put that right there. And then let's make some shapes. I'm going to make There we go. So I'm going to make some circles. Let's get our, I don't want a stroke. Let me grab our color palette. So I'm going to start with the blue. There we go. There's number one. And this is going to feel tedious, so it's just kind of how it is to make a style guide. But I'm going to stand by how I think this is a really important process. So let's see here. Photoshop, there we go. You can do the same thing. Nice. So I just hit Command J to copy that. I'll go ahead. There we go. Oh, figured out what I was doing. Nice. Beautiful. And I'm going to move this over here. And then I'm going to move this over here. And then I'm going to highlight all of these. And then I'm going to use, where is the distribute tool? Oh, it's up here? Yes. Align horizontally. There we go. There's our distribute tool. All right, we're off to a good start. Now I'm going to and then what is the name of our cormorant? Cormorant is the name of our let's see here, cormorant, and that is pretty big. Try that. There we go. I feel like I'm doing something wrong with this font smoothing. I haven't run into this before. I mean, I just started using Affinity Pro like a few weeks ago, and I've been making thumbnails with it, and I've had no issues with font smoothing. Font variation settings. I don't really have any styles defined. Character. I mean, these are all like the font and character variants, alignment. Well, so if we go to 100%, maybe I just need to choose a bigger. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll figure it out eventually. You know, when we start building it, it's gonna look great. So, let's see here. Try making it 200 pixels and see if it is still pixelated. I wonder it, and then I could probably just, let's see here. Yeah, it's still pixelated. And Emilio's saying that he's excited to see this. I haven't done any wireframes or anything of that nature yet for my final in school. I was so frustrated because I kept changing my mind on how things should look instead of just drawing it out first. It's the canvas. Yeah, Monique is right. In the long run, you will save time by doing this first. So this is the canvas. I'm having an issue with the canvas. Let's see here. Let's see if we can. Where's my setting? Let's see here. All right, ChatGPT. Let's see here. Affinity Photo. Text is pixelated. Oh, you can't see this. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so go to File, Document Setup, check the DPI setting for sharp text, ensure it's set to 300. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, that makes sense. File, Document Setup. All right. Don't see a document setup. Oop, I think that did it. So I think we need, there we go, look at that. Okay, so we just need to make sure that our canvas is set to 300. It's an option thing. It will always look correct at 100% but when you zoom it, yeah, that's what I'm discovering. You know what? I don't think I've had to deal with these issues in Photoshop before. So let's see here. But here, this looks perfect now. So note to self, we just have to make sure that our canvas is 300 DPI. I'm gonna do this again. Ooh, beautiful. Look at that. Yay! All right. Oh, and I am going to put that hashtag there. And then what's the keyboard shortcut here for V? Oh, escape. Oh. V. Okay, there we go. All right. We're learning together. Let's just copy like we did here. All right. Not quite like Photoshop, are you? You don't let me escape out. So if I'm like this, I can't just escape. You're not snapping? Okay, that's fine. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to go ahead and group these. And I'm going to call this color scheme. All right. How do I turn? Okay. How do I turn off? I'm going to put this over here so I can actually see if somebody is chatting. And then it worked. How do I turn off spell check? And the Supreme Overlord is here. We are creating a web style guide using Affinity Photo, the Photoshop competitor. I recently switched from Adobe over to Affinity Photo and I really love it. But there is a tiny learning curve, clearly. It's mostly the same. Okay, so preferences on Mac, Affinity Photo preferences, navigate to the user interface tab. Let's see here. Photo. Well, settings, user interface, and let's see here. Look for the option labeled check spelling while typing. I don't think so. right. Getting some help from the chat from the text menu. Select spelling and then check spelling while typing. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. ChatGPT. Okay, so far we're doing it. So far we're doing it. Okay. So let's make our canvas a little bit longer. So we want to do, I'm going to resize the canvas. Right now it is, yeah, since we increased our DPI, it's pretty big. That's fine. We want to anchor it from the top, and I'm going to stay at 6,000, and I'm going to increase this to I guess 10,000. Gosh, that's big. Okay. That's okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I went in the wrong direction. Hang on. Resize the canvas. Oh, we need to undo the, okay, 10. There we go. That's what I wanted. I don't know if we're going to use all that space, but I just wanted it, we just needed a little more room. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's make this a little bigger. It's moments like this where I'm like, was this the best decision for streaming? I honestly don't know. So if you're still with me, thank you. It seemed like a good idea. Okay, yes. I do like this a little bit bigger. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my other window. Oh my goodness, Angela. Let's see here. Let's see here. Which one? I think, is it this one? No, that's the wrong one. This one. All right, there we go. Okay. Here we go. All right. And looking forward to the front end is evil discussion. Yes, I had that planned for last night, and I had a long difficult week at work, and I was like, you know what? I just need a night off. I just am not into this tonight. So I have about 2.5 weeks coming up here over the holidays. I work for a university, and we're closed for 2 weeks right around Christmas to New Year's. So I'm going to be doing some extra streaming then. And I'm also just trying to experiment with the whole like podcasting front end conversation format, which I'm really, really interested in. And I love having those conversations. And I do have like topics picked out in articles that I want to read. So that's coming. That's definitely coming. So, okay. So far I like what we have here. We've got logo, which is just like this simple but fun kind of font that I really, really enjoy. We've got our color palette picked out. We have a very good sense for what is accessible and what isn't. We know that this navy blue and this kind of forest green color are both accessible with white text. So we will have white text. And then we have some accent colors here for buttons. And you said you saw the post and liked it. It's 7 p.m. for me is 1 a.m. there. Well, so that's good to know. I think what I'll do is, because I I can't, if I'm going to stream during the week in the evening, I obviously have to wait till I get done with work. But if I have time off, I could schedule things during the day. So it's easier for people overseas to join the stream. So I will adjust some of my timing because I'm pretty sure you're in the EU. Did I guess that correctly? You're in Europe or thereabouts? I don't want to like put people on the spot to say where they're located if they're not comfortable with that. But I get a sense that there are a lot of people overseas joining the stream. So I will do some things during the day. So it's a little easier to join in and watch. So, but I'm also really looking forward to that conversation because I have lots of opinions about frameworks and front end attitudes. And I love having those conversations. So, okay. So let's look at our inspiration. Oh, and you're okay at one because you're up at random hours. We'll do a variety of times. We'll play with it. We'll play with it. So, um, okay. So we have our logo. We have our colors. Yeah, we could do some profile pictures. I actually think that that's not a bad idea because we know that we have two colors here that are accessible with a white background. I'm pretty sure that I'll keep this as black, but I like the idea of having profile pictures with the logo. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's my circle tool. If you want to know how to make a perfect circle, I'm holding down the shift key. And let's go ahead and change the color of this. Does this save? Here's our, ooh, look at saved our swatches. Nice. So let's go ahead and do this navy blue. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. And I'll kind of move it up here with the layer and drag it over, and we'll resize this as well. And we'll make it white. I'll keep it this size, but I'll just resize it this way. Although, I kind of like this. See, this is why this creative process is so important. I kind of love this, where it's a little bit bigger. Let's see here. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. All right, and then I will group these, and then I'm going to duplicate these, but I will change the background color here to our green. And now, let's see here. You're grouped. Why didn't you? Oh, am I choosing? Yes, I'm auto selecting. All right, there we go. All right. Ionicons, icons. Let's see here. Did you mean ionicons or oh, let me see here if you meant. Oh, look at that. Holy cow. Oh, and you have spinners too. Holy cow, look at these. I did not know about this. I'm going to put this link in the chat for folks. Look at yeah, I'll definitely use these. Thank you. let's see here. So do they have brand? Not really. That, which is fine. Oh, they do have some brand. Oh, these are great. Thank you. These spinners caught my eye because I need to make a spinner at work. And I was like, great, do I have to build a spinner? So this is great. Look at these. I'm trying to think of the things that I really need them seem to look the most for. Arrows. Try brands as a search. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Perfect. Nice. Oh, this is great. Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely use some of these. Okay. Um, okay, so I really like this. Let's see here. So we've got, we'll say blue profile, green profile. I don't know when or how we would use these on a website, but I like having them. And this is such a great part of the creative process, right? Okay. And we'll move things around. We'll shift things around as we're building out some of our elements here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Let's look at our... Oh, and we could also do this border too. Yeah, I do want to do that. So we'll do another circle, which is a little smaller. And we'll move this over here. And then we'll say no fill. But we'll go ahead and add a white border. And whoop, our border, we'll do a border width of like 5.5, and I'm going to align on the outside, and then let's make it a little bit bigger. Let me drag it here. I don't know. Let's make it a little bit bigger. A little bigger, and I think the stroke maybe about like that. Yeah, I do kind of like that. I think that stroke is a little, I'm just gonna bump it up to 3. Yeah. I'm just gonna do it on 1. But I do like that. All right. And Emilio is waiting for a computer to be delivered so he can code again. Watching along with other YouTube videos is keeping me from going insane. New computers are so fun. Let's see here. All right. So let's grab some icons. So what do we want? LinkedIn, GitHub, Instagram. Those are my three. Yeah, we can grab some icons. So we'll go brands. Let me see here. We probably, can I put an SVG into Affinity Pro? I probably just need I'll just grab a PNG. And then I should be able to do an overlay. Color overlay, color. Swatches. Nice. There we go. All right, and then let's grab GitHub. Then we'll do an overlay. And then I'm going to grab Instagram. Perfect. All right, and then I think for now, I'll just go ahead and align these. And let's see, distribute. There we go. I'll group these and we'll say social icons. All right, I think we do need to organize this a little bit. So let's grab our color scheme. We'll put that there. Here's our blue. Here's our green. Move this up. we go. Go ahead, distribute these. Nice. And then here's our social icons. Let's move this down. Here's our color scheme. Put that right there. Make sure it is centered against, we'll just center it, yes. All right. And then I'm going to put our social icons them right here. I'll put them right here for now. I'm going to group these and just call these logos. And then what else do we have here? Highlight icons. Let's get some typography styles in here. So let's get like some real web stuff going now. I'm going to take the social icons and put them down here. I'll go ahead and center those. And then let's get some like, yeah, let's get some actual typography in here. So, okay, what's the name of my font again? Because I can't remember. Cormorant. Cormorant. So let's start here with H1 heading. And we'll change this to see, color. There we go. Cormorant. I think my H1s are going to be medium. Everything is in points. So I'm not going to have a pixel value here. Can I change this from pixels to points? And then let's go ahead and do some lorem ipsum. That is obviously extremely dramatic. Okay, let's undo that. There we go. Can't you just draw a box? Okay. Come on. How do you make text? Can you just make a box of text? Here we go. Frame text tool. Okay. There we go. Regular. Yeah, the text is going to be way off here because my canvas is so much bigger because of the anti-aliasing. So I'm kind of going to be winging it here text wise, and we're going to iron all that out tomorrow when we actually build this. So that's fine. Um, I'll learn how, I'm going to figure out how to deal with that. I clearly have a lot to learn here. So let's find our character. Is it the character tool or is there a paragraph tool? Window. Do we have a paragraph or is it just character? Text, character, paragraph styles. I'm going to give it a little bit of leading or line height. So this gives us a sense of what it's going to look like. I mean, ideally, I would have the text equivalents in Affinity Pro to say like, yes, this is what 16 is going to look like in relation to the heading, but okay. So this gives us a rough idea of what we want our headings and our text to look like. Let's do a section. Let's have this, well, do you ever really have it span 12 columns? No. Let's just have it go about here. And then let's do a section. Oh, stop. That takes up the full. And then we'll make this section, we don't need a stroke. We'll do a background swatch blue. And then we'll take this text and duplicate it. And we want our text to be white. And then let's also take our heading. I'm going to duplicate that. So make that white. I mean, I like this. This is starting to come together. All right. We also need to add some images. And we need to add some buttons. So let's use this this space over off to the side. Let's see here. So we'll call this group, we'll call this dark text on white background. I'm going to group this, and I'm going to call this white text on dark background. Yes, our university has a really good style guide, a really well-defined style guide. logos, colors, fonts. We have an amazing creative team and an amazing creative director. He is like one of the best creative directors I've ever worked with. Not that I've worked with dozens or anything like that, but just incredibly talented and just so good at what he does. And honestly, that style guide has made my job where I work so much easier. The reason I was able to do any design at all, especially in the very early days of our team being so small, was because of that style guide. I mean, he just made it so easy for me. And Monique is asking, do you specify any information for H2 headings in your style guide? So here's the thing. Normally I would say yes, but my canvas is so big, all the text is sized in points, not pixels. So it's making me difficult to sort of define all of this, but here's the thing. We're going to nail down those values tomorrow because what we're building here today, we are going to duplicate this exactly tomorrow in as a web page. So we will nail down these font sizes. Ideally, we would do an H1, H2, and an H3. And then, of course, our normal paragraph text. We're going to nail all of that down tomorrow because we're going to build this as a web page. So yes, I would normally like to have that here, and I've done that before. I'm going to go and look and find a style guide that I created for a client several years ago. I think it would be okay to show you that. It's a school in Phoenix, Arizona, a private school in Phoenix, Arizona, that I built a website for, and I made that was really where I learned to do a style guide, or just discovered how helpful they were. So we're gonna nail down a lot more of these styles tomorrow, and if I either don't remember how to do this in Photoshop, or I'm just struggling right now in Affinity to find the Affinity Pro equivalents. I wonder, can I change? Not that ChatGPT gives me the correct answers. Can I change the fonts in Affinity Photo from points to, I don't think you can. Usually it's points. Oh. But my canvas is so much bigger. We're on 300 DPI. You know what? I'm just going to have to use Affinity more than I currently obviously do to sort of nail down how to make some of these changes, get the canvas, because I feel like I should be able to have a canvas that's 1440 pixels wide and not have that rasterized pixelated text. So I think there's just a learning curve here, and I need to define some of my settings. But we're going to get it all figured out tomorrow when we actually build this. I am going to move this up a little bit. Yeah. And then let's add some buttons. Let's make some buttons over here. And maybe we want to make this just a little smudge smaller. Right about there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and make some buttons. I kind of want to and then I'm going to make a second button, and the second button I'm going to make a different color. I'm going to make it this color. And then I need an arrow. Okay, I know this is Bitcoin, but I just need an arrow, and I see an arrow here. So I'm gonna grab this PNG arrow. And let's go ahead and put a white overlay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. And we'll get this lined up. And then we'll say button. There we go. All right. I'm deciding if I like that. So let's try another button. Let's go back to our inspiration here. See, this is nice too, just nice and simple. Yeah, maybe we should just stick with this. What I was thinking is that we would have an arrow that animates a little bit on click. Although maybe we don't need an arrow at all because buttons are not navigation, they are action. Let's look for some button. Web UI buttons. So I don't want to do the pill shape button. Yeah, maybe on hover change the color of the button. Yeah, I think that here, I'm gonna delete that one. I'll hide these for now. I think for now we can just keep it simple, and then because I feel like this text, this is like a fancy text. So let's let the text and the color speak for itself. That's what I'm thinking. And then let's do a hover state. So we'll go ahead and copy this. And then, so this would be a white background and a blue stroke. Yeah, look at that. And then this text would be blue. And I think that's our button. Let's make a green button. So this is blue. This is blue hover. Go ahead and do this. That works. I agree. And then this needs to be this color green. Whoop. And we'll move you. Let's see here. We just need to change the stroke. Oh no, actually it was green. This as well. All right. Yeah, I like these buttons. Let's go ahead, distribute those, and we'll make sure that they are aligned. Yep, they are. All right, well, there's some buttons. And let's group all of these. And these are the buttons. And I'm going to align these. Move this up here. And we'll just do that. All right. So we have a color palette. We've got some buttons. We picked our typography. I know I want to have alternating light and dark backgrounds. We've got some social media icons. What else do we want to do here? I mean, honestly, this is coming together. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I think this button text might be a little bit big. I'm not going to worry about that right now, though. I'm going to play with that more when we're actually building this tomorrow. Let's work on, oh, we might want to, we'll do buttons for a dark background tomorrow also. So what would a button on a dark background look like? Probably this. Let's just duplicate this. There we go. And probably just want to have a white border on this one. Probably just want to have a white border. So for our blue button, let's make sure that we have a white border. There we go. Yeah, it's just the inverse. For our green button, let's make sure we also have a white border here. Yeah. Thumbs up. Let's make sure. I like it. Okay, I think I'm going to make the canvas a little bit longer. The final thing, really, I only have one other thing that I want to do, which is make sure that I know how I'm going to, oh, sorry, get this comment off the screen. I want to make sure that I know what I'm going to do with images. I have an idea for how I want my images to look, like kind of like a treatment for the images. Yeah. Okay, so let's go document, resize canvas, and I'm going to make this, there we go. Move these down. And then where is my picture of Heidi? So if I had an image like this, I want to do something like, let's see, let's get a little inspiration. Web UI images. Don't even know if that's a thing. Images, web UI design. So I don't want to do anything too crazy like putting text over top of an image, but do you see here how there's kind of like, there's like a little background treatment and a border. Where there's always something kind of behind it or framing it. So maybe something like, well, we have our inspiration for our color palette. We have this, just super gigantic, but we can let's see here. So what if I did something like this? Oh. And then we have some, so here's our so here's an image with background. And then we have our text. I mean, I kind of like that. So this would mean that anytime we have an image, there's kind of this treatment in the background, and I really, really like this because this is the image that inspired this color palette to begin with. So I would probably, I would probably just load this up as like a CSS background image. And it would be really, I would optimize, so we would optimize it ahead of time tomorrow. So I'll show you how I optimize images tomorrow. And then we would just load this in as a background image. Anytime we have a figure tag with an image inside of it, this could be the background or like a pseudo before or after class on the figure. And yeah, I really like that too. And the other thing I like about this is I do feel like my text choice is pretty formal. And I feel like this geometric background image pattern kind of like loosens things up a little bit. Kind of adds a little more modern flair to this because I don't want it to be too formal. I still want it to be like a little bit playful, but I want it to be like put together, if that makes sense. So I have one other thing that I want to do here because we haven't really used our other colors. So we still have this kind of teal color to use, this minty color, and this kind of yellowish beige color. So let's see if we can figure out a way to use kind of this mint, this, I'm calling this like mint. So, and Monique is saying, yes, a little bit of whimsy, something that is just like interesting, just slightly visually interesting. This is what I learned working at St. Thomas was that these kinds of like treatments or background images or like a little border here or a little bit of color there just adds so much. It just adds so much. And I have to tell you, I'm not sold on these buttons. Like, I like the style of the button. I'm not sold on this text choice for the buttons. So we're gonna have to play with that a little bit tomorrow. I don't love this right here, but I like the colors. I also don't really love, maybe I just don't love this green. I might just not, it might just be that I don't like this green. So maybe I'm just gonna take these out here. I think I'm just gonna take out the green just for the sake of yeah. Okay, I'm feeling better about that, but I do think the text is like a little too big. So, okay, so I want to do something like, let's do something like this where we have like kind of a border here. So let's do, I'm just gonna like draw a shape. So I'll draw a rectangle kind of like this. We'll take out the fill and we'll put in our stroke, and then we'll go ahead and put this, I'll put this inside our group. I want it over top of the image, but behind, I want it over top of the background image, but behind the main image. And so with that selected, can I just move it? Yes, I can. I'll just do something like, maybe I just need to resize this a little bit. Something kind of like that. I do like it. I do like that. Let's try changing the color of this. I think I like the yellow better. And then I think I don't remember how to do a mask. So can I just flip this? Let me see here. Layer. Arrange. Here we go. Flip horizontal. Yes, I like this better. I like the darker version of this better. And then yeah, I like that. That works. So I'll show you how I optimize images tomorrow. And then when we have images, so I'm thinking mostly of the home page. I'm not going to do a style guide for all of the inner pages, but I have a very clear picture image of what I want the home page to look like. I really want the home page to kind of look like a resume. I want these sections to be like my current experience or, my current position. Um, yeah. So I want to have these sections, and I have a picture of St. Thomas I'm gonna put in there. I want to have a picture of myself. I want to have a picture of Heidi because it's a site about me. And so I'm primarily thinking about like the homepage and how I want the homepage to look. So yeah, I really like this. I think this looks cool. What else do we want to do? Let's see here. I mean, we could also just do something like this where we have I'm gonna save this. We could definitely have our polygon background with this as long as we had white boxes. Could do something like that. Let's do just one more section where we have an image and then we have a solid background on the left and use our remaining color. Let's do one more. So we're in the home stretch here. How long have we been? Ooh, we're at about 2 hours. So, okay, we're almost done. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm gonna go ahead and group this. Say image. I'm just gonna call this image section. And then right here. And Monique is saying great session. Thanks very much. I hope that, I hope you guys had a chance to kind of follow along, or maybe you just felt inspired. Like I said, I know that this is not every front-end developer's thing. And I don't do it that often, but it's a really good exercise, I think. So, and then let's see here. It does go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to take copy this image. I'll go up here. Shoot, am I gonna have to do a layer mask? Maybe I could just find it. I don't want to teach myself how to do that right now. So inconvenient. Here, we'll do this one instead. A friendlier aspect ratio. There we go. I'll say green background section. And then I want some of our white text. White text. I'll duplicate this. We need to resize this a little better. There we go. I'm going to align this with this green section. Oh, it's pretty much aligned. Tighten this up a little bit. There we go. All right, I like it. I like that too. Wow, look at that. This is not what I was expecting. I had no expectations. I had no expectations. I didn't have any. I just knew that I wanted something that was colorful, that made the images look fun. I wanted to use a serif font. This up a little bit. I knew that I wanted to use this text for my initials as a logo. Yeah. Just a little bit. There we go. Wow. And Monique is saying this was very helpful and inspiring. Some light bulbs are clicking in my head now. Good, 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 good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, exercises like this, I think are really important. kind of get those creative juices flowing, right? Come up with some ideas. I mean, I personally cannot just sit down and start coding and building a website without something like this. And, there's a lot of debate around, do you need the design first or do you need the content first? And I think that I have to have some idea of what the design is supposed to look like. Until I have an idea or a decent understanding of what the design is supposed to look like, it won't matter what content you give me if I don't know where to put the content. Once I have the content and I have a general idea of what the design is supposed to look like, then I can start putting things together. And so Monique is agreeing with me. I love it when people agree with me. Thank you. And so Nano Akia is saying, I feel that if you gave me this, I would be able to understand what you wanted. So in your experience, do you feel like you get these types of specifications when you're being asked to build things? Just out of curiosity, I know that you work with designers. You've said in the past, just in terms of the accessibility conversations we've had, that you seem comfortable talking to your designers about how things should be structured and layout for accessibility. So I'm guessing you get documents like this. And Monique is saying, I was explaining that to someone earlier. It's important to do this first. It saves time. Yeah. Designer content first, in my opinion. Do what works best for you and your team. Totally agree. And I've worked at agencies that were the design was so important because I think it was just such an important part of how they sold their services or they were selling what they were doing. Design was really important, and the design always came first, and they were writing content to fit a design. And I don't think that that's bad at all. I think you kind of need both. I need to know what the content is, and I need to have a very solid understanding of what the design should be. I have to have both of those things. And I've had clients, like freelance clients who, and I don't fault them for this, because your average business owner who needs a website, even somebody who is so this is a good example. I did a ton of contract work for somebody who was like an SEO consultant, and he would sell web design services even though he didn't know anything about like coding or developing. And then he would contract with me to go ahead and build those out, and then he would go and do all the SEO stuff and act as the project manager. And he would be like, oh, I don't want to stifle your creative freedom. Like I don't want to like give you like any boundaries or tell you you have to do something. I just want you to be free and creative. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. There has to be a style, a defined something or other. And if you've ever been a developer who presented a design to a client and you did not have them approve the design first, I am so sorry to be the one to tell you this. They're not going to like it because you didn't give them any input. You didn't have them approve anything. And if you know what it's like to experience scope creep with clients, or have clients completely run amok and not have really any requirements or a defined scope of work, having something like this that people sign off on will help you rein people in and keep them focused. And so Nano Akia says, I suffer with mental health issues, so I've never worked, but am constantly researching. Well, that's totally fair. I have been in situations like I kind of am now, where we have a creative team that is mostly responsible for like the print and the overall branding for the university. Our creative director really doesn't like, he feels very constrained by the web. He doesn't feel like he feels like web has so many rules that he doesn't like. getting too involved in the web. So he basically just handed me the style guide or the branding guide for the university and said, you know, he's like, you're the developer, you know what to do, you apply these things appropriately to the web. And I've had to make a lot of changes to the colors in terms of making sure things continue to be accessible. I mean, we have some colors in our brand that are just like, no, you absolutely cannot use that for anything that relies on an accessibility type element, but they're perfectly fine for background treatments, things like that. So, yeah, and then I've been in other situations where they didn't want me to make any decisions. They had designers, they had people making those decisions, and they just wanted me to follow exactly what was in the document, and I can do that too. I am completely fine with that. So, I'm flexible, and again, I think that if you're a front end developer who's comfortable with this, it's really going to serve you well. So, all right, this was so fun. I really, really enjoyed this. So, my assignment for tomorrow is I will go ahead and save this document as an Affinity Photo file. I'll also save this maybe like as a JPEG and a PDF, and I'll go ahead and get a GitHub repository set up, and I'll make sure I share that with you guys tomorrow if you would like to see this or use this. Everything I do on these streams, totally open source, freely available. So I'll get that set up this afternoon, and then we're gonna go ahead and build this out tomorrow as a web page. The site that I'm going to make is going to be HTML, CSS, a little bit of vanilla JavaScript. I don't anticipate using tons and tons of JavaScript. It's going to be simple things like, you know, navigation, and maybe we'll do some UI elements. I'm not really sure yet. I am going to be writing Sass. So the last couple projects, I think we did vanilla CSS. I am going to be writing Sass so I can have some partial files. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and build this out tomorrow. It's going to be super fun. All right. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I think you're the best. I know I keep saying that, but I mean it. Yeah, I just have so much fun hanging out with you on the weekends. Thank you for joining me and for watching me stumble through Affinity Pro, but this was a great exercise for me too. I'm going to check and see if I can find some of the style guides that I've made in the past. I have one in particular that I would love to show you guys. Yeah, thank you, Monique. Have a great evening to you as well. Nano Kia, I know it is very late for you, so I will hope to be here. Have a great rest of your day. I will. Yeah, I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. We'll go ahead and build this out, and then I can start wireframing what I really want that homepage to look like, what I want my content to look like, pick some images, and we can get started working on that. This is very exciting. This is very exciting for me. So, cool. All right. Thank you. Love you guys so much, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.